What is up YouTube, Scrap Your QS here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to create the dark user bar that I showcased on VIP hack forums like 2 days ago. I got a lot of good feedback on the user bars that I posted 2 days ago, and some of it was really good, some of it was people wanting to know how I created it. I did help a lot of people out on Skype. I'd say around like 5 or 6 people yesterday on how to create these user bars. you know but it got to the point where I got so many requests that I just had to go ahead and make a YouTube tutorial. So yeah guys, if you don't know who I am on different forums, guys, I am Acid on series forums, I am on hack forums, I'm the forum, and on Leak I am Axe, and on VIP I am graphics. Since VIP hack forums is where I got a lot of the feedback, this is where I'm gonna post the video. So I'm not gonna post it on Leak, of course, because I didn't even post the user bars there. um, I I don't even know if I post the user bars on here, and I posted only one of the user bars on here, but I post the full set on VIP hack forums. But yeah guys, alright, so the reason why I showed you my forum usernames is because some people were messaging me telling me that I did not create these user bars. I can assure you that I did create the user bars. But yeah, I'm thinking that some of those guys probably saw the user bar showcased on another forum site. But yeah, guys. Anyways, on with the tutorial. So, for this tutorial, I'm using Photoshop CC. Now, you could be using past versions like CS6 or CS 5.5 or even CS5. I'm sure most of you guys are probably using CS6. There's not, I haven't really found much of a difference between the two. So, you know, anyways, you want to go ahead and open up the dimensions that you're working with. So, File, New, and I already have a preset here, which is 130 by 45. Now, user bars come in different shapes and sizes depending on the forum owner, what he wants, what he wants for his dimensions to be. Me, I really just work with these all the time, and whenever somebody orders user bars from me, this is the dimensions that I go with. And if I ever need to change it, I can just go to image and then canvas size right here, and I can change it, 130, 45, there you go, and I can change the height or the width, and it'll change. But I don't really have to do that all so often. Alright, so anyways, you're gonna get a background layer, as you guys just saw. Background layer, you're gonna want to drag this lock into the trash can. It's a big habit of mine. I don't know why I always do that. Every time I work in Photoshop, I just, as soon as I create a new fucking layer or workspace, I always delete that background layer. I don't know why. It's just a habit of mine. Alright, and then after you do that, you're going to want to grab your paint bucket tool, and as most of you guys can see, it has this dark background on pretty much every forum site that I'm on. It has that dark background to it, a dark forum theme. What you want to do, well, what I do, since most of the forum sites that I'm on are dark, I would always set the background to like a kind of like match the forum site. Now, just for the video sakes, I'm just gonna put a normal gray color. Usually, I would, as you guys can see, oh shit, I have screenshots of the actual color, so I can actually, if I was making it for that forum site, it would match up exactly. And this is only for GIFs. So if I was making a GIF, I would only do the background. If I wasn't making a GIF, then it would be a transparent background. But anyways, you want to create another layer, and you want to create the user bar shape. Now, I do have a lot of shapes that I pen tooled, such as this one right here. I pen tooled. Here, you guys probably can't get a good look at that. I pen tooled this shape right here. This is supposed to be for user bars and stuff. Uh, yeah, I haven't used that yet. I may use it on a user bar that I have to do in the future. And I got this one right here. Just gonna keep that like that, and let's see, what else do I got? I got this one right here, and I got this one right here. I mean, I just have different shapes, guys. Just for the video though, I'm gonna do the rectangle tool. This is the one that I actually use for the dark user bar, which is the one that I'm gonna be showing you guys how to design. And yeah, so you just want to create the size that you want, and you want to get it positioned to where you want. And then I'm going to go into the layer styles and bevel and emboss. I'm going to drag the depth to 1%, the size to 0, drop shadow. I'm going to put the angle to 90, and then I'm going to put the distance to like 3, and I'll put the size to like 8. And then I'm going to go to gradient overlay, and I'm going to go to the gradient editor, and I already have a preset here. I call this one Chrome. I made it myself. It goes from a light gray to a dark gray to a light gray to a white. So if you guys want to pause the video and copy that down for this tutorial, you guys can. But yeah, anyways, after you get the gradient you want, you click OK, and I'm going to put the blend mode to overlay. Now this gives the user bar a very nice metallic look. I really like this look, guys. This is what I use. This is my setup for every user bar that I create, unless the forum owner that is ordering user bars from me says otherwise. So anyways, after I get that done, I always zoom in. I create a new layer and I zoom in. And for the dark user bar, I created like a top rectangle and a bottom rectangle, and they were indented in for the lights to pass through. So you want to grab the rectangle tool, and you want to create a rectangle, a slim, long rectangle. And you make sure you want it to match up with the user bar itself, size-wise and width. So after you get that perfectly aligned and the size that you want, you're going to want to, let me zoom out by going to View, 100, and then I'm going to go into the properties, inner shadow. I'm going to obviously drop this down. Let me try 2 and drop this size. I'll put that to about 3. Looks good. And then I'll put drop shadow, and then I'll put this to normal, and then I'll put the color to white, and then I'll put the distance to 1, and then the size to 0. And then I'm going to drop the opacity down to like 29. There we go. And then after you do that, guys, you want to duplicate this rectangle. And then with using the arrow keys, I use the arrow keys to make sure that it aligns perfectly. I'm going to just hold it down until it matches perfectly. Is that right? Yeah. There we go. So it matches perfectly with the bottom of the user bar. And then I'm going to create yet another layer, and then I'm going to get the line tool, which is located over here by our shapes, and then I'm going to zoom in a little bit by Control plus, and then I'm going to get it where I want it, position it, and then I'm going to hold shift and click, and it matches up perfectly on the first try. Good job to myself. And then you want to add a inner shadow. I usually go with distance 1. It doesn't really matter because it's a line, but you just make sure, I don't know, this is just a habit of mine. I always add the inner shadow on this. And then drop shadow, the same exact thing you did with the other rectangles. You want to put it to white, and then you want to go to blend mode, normal, and then distance 1 and size 0, and then you want to cut the opacity down. I put it to 18, and then I'm going to zoom back out to 100%. And now you got the basic user bar itself. Let me kind of position this a little bit to the side. There we go. Now after you do that, you want to create yet another layer. And like I said, guys, some of these shapes were pin tooled by myself, and including these end bars I pin tooled by myself. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select the end bar. You're not gonna have this, so you can either skip the step or make you one. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, so I'm gonna select that, and then Control plus 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 to zoom in, and then I'm going to match it up. Actually, scratch that. I'm gonna hold shift, and then I'm going to match it up like that, and that looks good. So I'm going to go down one. Oh, wrong. I put it on the wrong layer. Alright. Anyways, sorry for that, guys. You're going to want to shift click and drag it down. There we go. Perfect. And get it aligned perfectly. And then I'm going to take the same exact layer style that I did with the original user bar. I'm going to right click and copy layer style. And then I'm going to paste it onto the end bar. And then let's zoom out so we can get the look of it. Really nice, guys. Now I'm going to get the drop shadow, and I'm going to mess around with it. Try and get a better look. As you guys can see, the distance is set to 3. I'm going to set that to 1. And there we go. I'll just put the distance to 1 and the size to 3. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this end bar. So duplicate layer, and then I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. And then I'm going to just use the arrow keys, and I'm going to move it all the way over here. Match it up perfectly. Oh shit. Alright, that looks good. Let me zoom in to make sure. Alright, yeah. Nice. Alright, so there we go. That's the basic setup. Now, I'm sure you guys did notice the dark text in the middle was custom made in Adobe Illustrator. I may make a tutorial later on how to do that. I'm not sure, but just for now, for the sake of the tutorial, you can either pause it if you already know how to make text logos in Adobe Illustrator, or you can just use the text tool. But like I said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and drag in the dark text that I created. So it's in here in my logos. I'm gonna go ahead and drag it in, and okay. So yeah, now after you do that, I'm gonna resize it by Control T is how you get it into transform mode, and I'm gonna hold shift, and then I'm gonna drag it down so everything stays symmetrical and aligned. So there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and center this the way that I want it, and that looks about right. And you should still have your layer style copied from whenever you pasted it on the end bars. I'm gonna go ahead and paste the same layer style onto the dark text, but I'm gonna make some changes to it like I did with the end bars, and I'm gonna go to gradient overlay, and I'm going to switch this to normal, and then I'm going to take the opacity and I'm gonna drag it a little bit down, and then I'm going to get the drop shadow, and I'm going to make some modifications to this as well. I'll put the distance to 1, I'll put the spread, I'll change that to 7, and that looks about good to me. Alright, so once you did that, guys, now we have to create the animations, which is really easy, guys. It may look hard if you just don't know how to create animations at all, but this is actually really easy, guys. So what I'm gonna do is right now I got the bottom rectangle above the top rectangle. I'm gonna go ahead and switch them around just so I know where they are easier, and I'm gonna change this rectangle. Actually, no, I'm not gonna change the name just yet. I'm just going to create a folder to put each of the rectangles in. So I'm gonna drag that rectangle in, and I'm gonna rename this to top, so I know which is which. And then I'm going to close it and add another folder and drag this rectangle in and change it to bot for bottom. And so there we go. Now we got each of them in a folder. Now what I'm going to do is create another layer, and I'm going to zoom in, and I can't remember if I use the rectangle for the flare or if I use the ellipse tool. I'm just going to go ahead and use the rectangle, and let me go ahead and put that in. Alright, so there we go, guys. I think I used, for the dark user bar that I showed you guys, I used blue and green. I'm going to go ahead and use red and another color. Haven't really decided yet. You can either, fill it with red, or you can use glow to fill it. I'm going to go ahead and change the fill all the way down and just use the glow. So I'm going to go to inner glow, and I'm going to put that to red. And of course, I got to cut up the choke and the size, so now it's kind of transparent and red at the same time. And then I'm going to go to outer glow, put that to red, and mess around with it until I get what I want. That looks about right to me. It looks really good. I like it. Let me go back to 100%. Alright, guys, that looks good to me. So anyways, now I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to create the clipping mask. Alright, yes, I'm creating the clipping mask. Right click on the red light and create clipping mask. And I'm going to go ahead and change this to red, bottom, right. Alright, and I'm going to drag this all the way to the right. Alright, so it's out of view. Now, I'm going to duplicate this and then drag this on the bottom rectangle thing. Alright, or no, actually this one needs to go up top. Sorry for that, guys. And drag it all the way up here. There we go. And there we go. Now, alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and right click on the red light on the bottom that we hid from view. I'm gonna right click it and copy the layer style, and then I'm going to paste it on this one. Or actually, no, I don't need to do that. I forgot I duplicated it. Wow. Okay, so alright, anyways, now we got the duplicated red light. We're going to change the glow to the secondary color. I'm gonna go ahead and go with yellow. I don't know why. I'm gonna copy the color code, Control C, and then I'm gonna go to the outer glow, Control V on that, so now the color code is copied, and then I'm going to right click on this and create a clipping mask. And as you guys can see, this clipping mask is created inside. So let me check on this one. Alright, so they're both still there. Now I'm gonna find the dark text and I'm gonna create a layer above that. Now I'm sure most of you guys know how to create this animation. This is one of the most popular animations that you see on the forums. You see them pretty much everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and get this rectangle tool, and I'm going to drag a white rectangle right in front of it. And then I'm going to get the gray, and I'm going to change it to white. So the rectangle, you have a white rectangle right there. And, you know, after I do that, I'm going to create a clipping mask on top of the dark text. And then I'm going to change the opacity down a little bit, maybe to like 70 or 68. That 68 is good. And then now I'm going to go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, okay, and it kind of gives it a little bit more of a shine effect. Now after you do that, you want to hide it from view. And now this is where the animation comes into play. I'm going to go ahead and create my video timeline frame by frame, change this by no delay, and then I'm going to create another layer, and this is where I'm going to move the animation. So I'm going to put this kind of in the middle of the text, and then I'm going to find the red light, which is, this is bottom right, so I keep pushing it left. Or no. Oh wow, that's the duplicate. Never mind, I forgot to change it. Alright, anyways, you want to drag this across till it matches up with the rectangle. After you do that, you want to do the same thing to the red light. Just drag it across using the arrow keys. And so right now everything's matching up. I want to click this. It looks like a line. It's a line of frames. This is to tween the frames, and I'm gonna put this to 12. Depending on how fast or slow you want it, you want to mess around with the flames or the flares. Sorry for that. And I'm gonna create another layer, and I'm gonna finish moving them across. There we go. And then I'm gonna get the yellow one, move that across. And then I'm gonna get the rectangle, and I'm gonna move that across. And then I'm gonna go back to the tween, and I'm gonna just click OK. It should already have 12 filled in. And let's check it out. Let's see what it looks like, guys. Forever. And bam, there you go, guys. That's how you create the dark user bar. Let's see here. Let me see if there's any differences between them. Alright, so yeah, this user bar is a little bit more faster, and the end bars look a little bit more darker, and it's longer. I actually use the shape behind these, which I no longer have because I was sending the files to someone on Skype, and I actually like, I don't know what happened. Like, I think I sent them off my computer, which Skype usually copies the files whenever you send them, but I guess in that sake it didn't, which is really weird. But all it was, guys, was it was a shape that I dragged behind the user bar to make it look like it was sticking out, which was actually really nice, guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know if you guys like this tutorial. I will definitely make more in the future if you guys found this helpful. I know how to do pretty much all types of animations in Photoshop. I know how to do flames. I know how to do pretty much anything, guys. This is just the simple stuff. The more advanced animations would be done in After Effects, which I have Adobe After Effects CS6. Um, I used to use it for video editing. If those of you who don't know, I also edit videos. Gosh, I'm in a wide variety of. I do a lot of things on the internet. I mean, I edit. I used to record and play Xbox, guys, but I quit Xbox. But yeah, guys, I hope you like this tutorial, anyways. But yeah, you know, you should definitely subscribe to my channel, and peace out.